Everyone, welcome to part one of our three-part series where we'll dive into everything you need to know about ozone generators. We're going to unbox our F150a commercial ozone generator and take a peek inside to see what's included so you know exactly what to get when you get yours. Alright, so let's take a look inside. On top you're going to have a thank you note, packing list, and a user guide. You're also going to have a warranty card. So on top you're going to have some paperwork. Once you remove that, you're going to see the actual unit. But on the left and right side, you're going to find some other stuff. This is going to be the power cord. And then this is going to be a 3-pack of ozone plates. Once you have that stuff removed, you're going to have the actual unit. You're going to have foam inserts on both sides, and then it's going to be in this plastic bag. Now that we have everything fully removed out of the box, the last thing that you really need to open is going to be the box of ozone plates. So once you cut the tape, open it up and make sure you have 3 ozone plates included. They're going to be nicely wrapped in this foam packaging. Got 1, 2, and 3. Welcome back to part 2 of our ozone generator series. Now that we've unboxed it, let's go over how to properly use this powerful device. Ozone purifies the air from mold, odors, bacteria, and viruses and is a very powerful machine. However, it is very harmful to one's health. So here's a 5-step guide to ensure you guys are using ozone generators effectively and safely. Step 1 is going to be preparation. You guys need to make sure you select the correct size ozone generator for your use. There are many ozone generators out there and each one serves a distinct purpose. Once you guys have found the correct size ozone generator, the room or area you're going to be treating needs to be unoccupied. So any living thing needs to leave the room, whether that's people, animals, or plants. Ozone is a respiratory irritant, and being exposed to large amounts for large periods of time is very deadly to one's well-being. You also need to cover certain items if you don't want them to get damaged over time. So like rubber, fabric, some electronics. Being exposed to large amounts of ozone over time can actually damage them, so it's recommended to remove them or just cover them. And then the last thing is you need to make sure the room is sealed. So you need to make sure all the windows are shut, make sure the door is shut. If your door has a gap at the bottom, you guys can roll up a towel and shove it in that gap to make sure all the ozone stays in that room to properly treat the area. Step 2 is you need to set up your ozone generator if it's not set up already. After we unbox this, we never installed the ozone plates or attached the power cord. With the F105 model, inserting the ozone plates is very easy. Ozone plates has arrows. Make sure those arrows are facing the back of the unit when you install them. And then this power cord just plugs in at the bottom in case you guys need help with that. Once you guys have everything installed, like the ozone plates and the power cord, the second step, like I mentioned, is set it up for use. So you need to make sure this is in a central location in the room or area you are going to treat with ozone. If it's a larger area, you can add fans to help spread the ozone quicker to further areas. But if you have it in a room, just put it in the central area and give it about 2 hours and it's good to go. If you have a whole home, you might have to get multiple units. The F150a can produce 3,000 milligrams of ozone per hour. So once you have it set up in a central location, the second thing you need to do is adjust the ozone output level. The 03700 or F150a does not have an option for that, so you're going to get 3,000 milligrams of ozone per hour, but some models have a switch where you can switch between less or more ozone. But a majority of the ozones on the market is going to be a set amount of ozone of milligrams per hour. Then the last thing is you need to set the timer. The F105a has a timer up here. It can go up to an hour or you can set it to the hold position. So all you do is just turn it to the amount of time you want, leave the room, it'll do its job, and you'll hear it being when it's done. Step 3 is going to be activate your ozone generator. This is going to follow up very quickly after step 2, which is setting up your ozone for use. Once you have the ozone output selected, whether that's a switch or a knob, but like I said, the F150a or O3700 does not have that option. So once you set the timer and turn it on, it's going to produce the set amount of ozone. So once you have the timer set and you have the ozone output selected, if you have that option, leave the room. Then you're going to let the ozone generator do its work. You're going to let it treat the room, whether that's 60 minutes or if you have it on the hold feature. And please do not enter the room when the ozone generator is on. Like I mentioned before, ozone is a respiratory irritant and it's very harmful to one's health. Step 4 is going to be the post-treatment procedure. So once the ozone generator's timer has gone off, that is going to indicate that the ozone machine is done treating that area. So what you want to do is wait at least 30 minutes to 2 hours before you enter that room. Ozone will dissipate and turn into oxygen over time. So we recommend 30 minutes to 2 hours depending on the timer setting you have placed or the ozone output. You can also go into that room and quickly open up the windows to help vent the room and remove that extra ozone, but it's beneficial if you just wait it out and wait till that ozone dissipates into oxygen. And then step 5 is going to be the last step for the F150 or O3700 ozone generator. And step 5 is going to be repeat the process if necessary. So if you ran an ozone treatment and you wait for the ozone to dissipate or turn into oxygen, and you still smell that odor or see mold or bacteria or viruses, which those are kind of hard to see, but if you still have some issues that ozone treatment didn't quickly eliminate, go ahead and run the process again. Once you're done and you're happy with the results, make sure you place the ozone in a safe environment so it's out of reach of children. Put it up on a shelf, keep it in a nice, dry, cool place. Here we are in the final video for this series, and in this video we'll be covering cleaning and maintenance of your F150 ozone generator so you can make sure it's performing at its best. I'll show you guys how to clean the ceramic plates and give you tips to prolong its lifespan. Alright, safety first. Whenever you're going to be cleaning or doing maintenance work on your F150a ozone generator, you're going to want to make sure it's turned off and it's unplugged from any wall outlet. Second, it's recommended that you guys wear protective eyewear, gloves, and possibly a mask, just because you're going to be touching ceramic ozone plates and you might not know what's inside the ozone generator itself. The F150a is a very basic but yet powerful ozone generator, and there's really only 3 things you can do to clean and maintain this unit. The first step is going to be cleaning the exterior. If your unit is in pretty good shape, all you're going to need is a damp microfiber towel, and you can use that to wipe the exterior of it. If you guys notice there are some stubborn spots to clean, you can go ahead and dilute some mild detergent in water and then use that to remove those stubborn spots on your ozone generator. Second step is going to be cleaning the ozone plates. If you guys are not sure where your ozone plates are located, we have videos on that where you can refer to the user guide, which is included in the box. Pretty much all you need to do is remove the ozone plates. Depending of the size of your ozone plates, that'll determine the size of bowl you'll need. These ones are pretty large, so a larger bowl is needed. And all you're gonna do is put mild detergent like Dawn soap in a bowl with some warm water, mix it up so it gets kind of soapy. And you're gonna set the ceramic ozone plates in that bowl of soapy water and let them soak for 15 minutes. Once they're done, go ahead and rinse the excess soap off with lukewarm water and then let them dry completely before reinstalling them back into your ozone machine. The last part we're going to cover is going to be the interior of the ozone generator, the F150a, along with some other of our ozone generators to gain access to the interior components. It's very easy. This model will have 4 screws on each side, along with 6 screws on top holding the handle on. Once those 14 screws are removed, this top portion comes right off. Okay, so we got the top portion off, and here is the internal components of the F150a. If you see a lot of dirt or dust in here, we recommend vacuuming it up, and then any leftover dust or grime or dirt, get a can of air or an air compressor and blow the rest away, and then go in with a microfiber towel and gently wipe everything down. Just keep in mind, if you're using an air compressor, don't go too crazy with the air. and hold it directly up to some of these components because there's a possibility you will damage them. While you're in here, you also have access to the UV light. If you guys are not sure how to replace that, we have a video for it, but I will go over regular maintenance schedule and when to replace the UV light and when to replace the ozone plates. While you have the top off, it's also recommended you can do this on the exterior cleaning process or you can do it on the interior, but go ahead and clean the air intake and outtake of your ozone generator. Sometimes dust will build up, so go ahead and get a duster brush and quickly vacuum the intakes off. That way you have fresh, clean air coming out and not dusty air. All right, now I want to go over a regular maintenance schedule. Once a week, we recommend giving the exterior a quick wipe down. Again, this is a great opportunity to also vacuum off the air intakes on both sides. Once a month, we recommend checking and cleaning the filters. Then 3 to 6 months, we recommend replacing the ozone plates along with replacing the UV bulb. You'll know when the UV bulb needs to be replaced because it'll be burnt out. Also, the 3 to 6 month rule will also depend on how often you use the machine. Sometimes you might not have to replace the plates for a year or two. It all comes down to how often you're using it. And then lastly, we recommend doing a more thorough cleaning once a year, and that's going to be cleaning the exterior, interior, vacuuming the dirt and dust off, blowing the excess dirt and dust away, and then wiping everything up with a clean microfiber towel. Doing these will ensure that your ozone generator will perform at its best and it will prolong its lifespan at the end.